Yo guys, what is up? Max here with another Elden Ring video, and today we're going over my Flame Paladin build. Now, this build is an evolution of the Holy Reaper build. If Holy Reaper is an early to mid game build, this is a mid to end game build, and oh my goodness, this build is strong. We're practically one-shotting bosses. I no longer worry about groups of enemies ganging up on me because I heal so much. It's just absolutely silly. Today I'm going to be breaking down where to get this gear, how this build works, and everything you guys need to know. I hope you guys enjoy. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like, comment, and maybe even subscribe. We're getting so close to 200,000 subscribers. And with that, guys, let's get right into it. Alright, now let's get into this build, and we're starting with the Blasphemous Blade. This is our main source of damage and our weapon for this build, and I want to thank you guys for recommending me this weapon on yesterday's top 5 faith weapons. I can easily say that this is the strongest faith weapon, and it is strong for more reasons than one. So to start us off, this thing, when you kill enemies with it, you're going to get HP restored. So just killing enemies with this weapon, you're going to get HP back, which in of itself is incredibly strong. However, as a faith-based build, it's even stronger because one thing that I found out is if you're holding this weapon and you kill an enemy, you get HP back, even if it's with spells. So if I want to walk around holding this thing and casting my lightning bolt and killing enemies, even if I'm killing them with my lightning bolt and not the weapon, I'm going to be healing from all of my spells. That's the first way it's strong. The other way it's strong is it's got really good scaling. We've got C strength scaling, C dex scaling, and C faith scaling. So you can spec into all those attributes and get tons of bonuses. And its weapon art is absurd. This is a giant AoE. It goes through multiple enemies. It's going to stagger them. It's got like stagger on it, and it just hits like an absolute truck. So that's like our very base. Now let's get into the little more intricate things of how we're able to pump up our damage so much. So what I want to show you guys first is our damage with no talismans. So I'm going to go up to this guy. I'm not using anything special. Like we've got nothing equipped. I'm not doing anything. I just want to show you our base damage because this weapon's got crazy base damage. All right, so this is our enemy. I'm going to hit him for 1951. Okay, that is our starting base damage, 1951. Now let's put on our talismans and pump up our damage, and I'll show you guys how much damage we can get out with this spec. All right, now let's show you which talismans we wear for bossing, and then I'll go over mobbing, because I wear different talismans for different situations. Now, to squeeze the absolute most damage out of this thing, we're going to start off with the Fire Scorpion Charm. Our weapon does fire damage. This is going to raise our fire attack, which is perfect for us. Next up, we're going to put on the Ritual Sword Talisman. Raises attack power when HP is at maximum. When you walk into a boss room, your HP is going to be at maximum, and if you can sustain this damage. All of the clips that I've shown you was without this Ritual Sword Talisman, just an FYI, because I literally just got it, so I would have probably one-shot a lot of the bosses in the first clips if I had this thing on. Next up, we're going to be putting on Radagon's Sword Seal, which is going to raise our attributes. Dexterity and Strength are 2 stats that we scale this weapon's damage off of, and this is going to give us both of those stats. And then lastly, I'm going to put on the 2-finger heirloom to raise faith. You could put on one to raise dexterity or strength. I tried using the Godfrey icon, which says it enhances charged spells and skills. I found that this didn't count for our Ash of War, and you can also use the Carrion Filigree crest to spam it more before you have to use a potion. But just to get the absolute max damage, I'm going to show you this. Oh, I didn't actually put those 2 on. Give me 1 second. Put that on, and our Sword Seal. Okay, now we're good to go. And then we're going to pop a health potion to make sure that we're at full health. Here comes our first incantation. This is Golden Vow. It's going to give us an increased damage and increased defense. And then now we can hit this enemy. Remember that 1951 was our starting damage and 2,841 was our final damage. We went from 1951 to 2,800 just by putting on these talismans. That is how we're able to do so much freaking damage. This weapon in of itself is ridiculous, but with the right talismans and the right spec, you're going to be hitting bosses for absurd amount of damage. Now, real quick, talismans that I wear for mobbing, like if I want to run around, I'm obviously not going to use the max health like you could, but one of the really cool things you can use is the Taker's Cameo, which is going to restore HP upon defeating enemies. This works with the Blasphemous Blade, which already restores HP, so you can run around, and when you kill enemies, you're going to get so much health back. On top of that, if you really wanted, you could use the Assassin's Crimson Dagger, which critical hits restore HP, and then all of a sudden, you basically become unkillable as long as you're backstabbing enemies and killing mobs. no one can kill you because you're going to be getting all of your health back. For the most part, though, running around, I really like using the Carry-On Filigree to reduce the FP cost. I go from being able to use this special skill 4 times to being able to use it 6 times with this, which is well worth it in my opinion. You can use Taker's Cameo, the Scorpion Charm, Filigree, and Radagon's Source Seal. If you want, you can use the Faith, but actually, like, right now, I'm pretty good on the Faith. So those are my talismans I use for mobbing. All right, and for my stats, spells, summons, and seal, these are my stats right now. Now I'm 102, but 32 vigor, 25 mind, 17 endurance, 17 strength, 18 dexterity, 9 intelligence, 46 faith, and 17 arcane. My stats are not looking perfect just because I've been leveling up different things to try different weapons, to experiment with what feels the best for me. And honestly, like, that, there's no shame in not having perfectly been max stats. But like, for example, if I was running around and I was using let's say I was using these talismans, the Carry-On Filigree, 2 Fingers, Radagons, and the Fire Scorpion, this would now give my stats 37 vigor, 25 mind, 22 endurance, 22 strength, 23 dexterity, 9 intelligence, 51 faith, and 17 arcane, which looks way better. Now, for seals and summon, this build is already, like, has really no issues with bosses, but if you really just want to, like, not have to worry about a boss again, you should use the Mimic Summon. Now, the Mimic Summon creates a copy of you, and it will fight like you. It will use your gear. Now, one of the things that is completely busted for faith-based builds with the Mimic, because the Mimic is already strong, is the Mimic has limited HP, but it has an unlimited FP pool, meaning it can spam spells as much as it would like. So some of the spells that I like running, and sometimes I will just give my minion, because you can change your gear after you summon it, so you can put on the gear you'd like it to spawn with. Sometimes I'll give it like the Blasphemous Blade and the Godslayer Seal, or not even the blade at all. I'll just give it my seal, and then I will give it the spells. I'll show you the spells I give it, because these are silly. Because it'll cast all of them, and it doesn't need to worry about these spells. Golden Vow, so it buffs its own attack and defense for me and him, like both of us. We will be both getting Golden Vow. Heals will be casting Lightning Spear and Black Flame, and he'll also be using Lord's Heal, which massively heals HP for self and nearby allies, meaning that you and your summon, I've had my summon stay up for the entire fight without even losing half of its HP, because it'll keep casting Lord's Heal to heal both of us. This makes the summon practically unkillable, which is just stupid. If you were having any worry about being able to kill things in this game, now you've got a build that does absurd damage, almost one-shots bosses. You've got a summon that heals you, gives both of you attack and defense, and you're just going to be doing silly damage. For the seal, not too picky on it. I just got this giant seal. I don't have any Giant's Flame incantations. I'll probably be swapping to Giant Flame incantations when I unlock them. And I also really like the Erd Tree seal, but the Godstar seal is just my highest leveled one. And yeah, guys, let's get into locations now. All right, so there was an absurd amount of items shown during this video. I'm going to do my best to show how to get all of them as quickly as I can. Now, the most important location to get to for this entire build is Volcano Manor. Volcano Manor is where you need to get to because you're going to talk to this lady. This lady is going to send you to kill NPCs. Now, you're going to talk to her, you'll go down this hallway and grab letters off of the table corner here. And each letter will have a location to go to, and it'll point it out on the actual map. Like, it'll show on your map exactly where to go by a little icon. So it's pretty easy to go get to. You're gonna go find the first guy over here. Basically, you go kill him, you invade his world, then you're gonna come back and say that you've completed your quest. She's gonna make you come and get another letter, grab that letter, and then you repeat this process until you do all 3 letters. And you're going to get two of these white ones and then a red letter. After you beat your red letter, you're going to come in and talk to her, and she's going to tell you to beat a boss. Now, just from doing those red letters, you're going to kill Hoslo, who's going to give you all of this armor. So you're going to get all of this armor. Also, you're going to have to be able to kill Rykard. Rykard is going to drop you the Taker's Cameo. So the Taker's Cameo you're already going to get from just this area as well, which is going to restore HP upon defeating enemies. And then when you talk to her, she's going to ask you to go kill a boss. After you do the 3 letters, you kill the boss and you turn its remembrance for the Blasphemous Blade. And there you already have a decent chunk of this build. The Ritual Sword Talisman, which increases your damage when your HP is full, can be found at the Lux Runes. If you're at the Erd Tree Gazing Hill, you're going to want to run all the way around and then go up this hill, and after you kill the boss, you can get it. Or if you have the Grand Lift of Dectus bonfire, you can just go straight up this hill and then go down the stairs and you'll kill a boss and you'll get it. The Carrion Filigreed Crest, which I strongly recommend using because you're going to get just way more slams out of this ability, can actually be purchased directly from the War Counselor NPC. If you go to the road to the manor and go purchase, he should be selling this. The Lord's Heal Incantation can be found in Fortified Manor, first floor. It's the same place that you get the Coded Sword and the Sacred Whetstone that I showed in the top 5 weapons video. You'll also get the Two Fingers Prayer Book, which will allow you to unlock Lord's Heal. The Faith Increasing Talisman can be found in the Purified Runes, and Radagon's Sword Seal can be found in Fort Feroth. The Golden Vow Incantation, which increases your damage and defense, can be found in the Corpse Stench Shack. For the Mimic Summon, you're going to want to get to Nokrin and go to the Ancestral Woods checkpoint. Here, you're going to basically scale along this rooftop. The Godslayer Seal can be found in Stormvale Castle. From this courtyard, there's a little cellar, and the seal is just down there, as well as the Black Flame spell. And you will find the Mimic Summon right here. You're going to need to use a Stone Sword key, and then you grab it from this chest. And lastly, for the Fire Scorpion Talisman, you're going to get that from Fort Lade. It can be a little bit tricky to get to. I actually recommend going to the Erd Tree Gazing Hill. From there, walk up this path, and then you'll get to the Windham Runes. You'll see a river flowing through the mountains, and you're just going to want to follow that river. That'll lead you underneath Volcano Manor and everything, and then you'll pop out at Fort Lade. Guys, that is going to do it for the video. A tremendous amount of effort went into making this, so if you appreciated the effort, be sure to drop a like, maybe even subscribe, and guys, I will catch y'all in the next one. Take care. Peace.